Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from beautiful Florida. And today our question comes to us from Wild Silver Wolf. And Wild Silver Wolf asks a question that we do get frequently here and have addressed before, but is worth addressing again. And that is the best way to come out of the broom closet to friends and loved ones. That is the best way to introduce the fact that you are practicing paganism or witchcraft or metaphysics in general. And my answer to this is that this is a question that has many variables depending upon the exact people you're talking to. There are some people for whom there is no good way that you can do this, and no way to get a good resolution because their mind is simply too closed. There are others who will just want to understand. And in my experience, most people will fall in the latter category. And what you need to do, in my opinion, in coming out of the broom closet to a close friend or loved one, is make it as easy as possible for them to understand, and for the most part they will try to do so. And some of the ways that you can do this are to use inclusive language, to use terms they will understand. My late mother's favorite saying, or one of her favorite sayings, was that you have to take people where you find them. That means that in order to communicate with them, you have to consider what they know, the words that they understand, the context that they possess to interpret what you want to say, and you have to take this into account in saying it. It doesn't help to explain something with a lot of jargon words to someone who does not know those jargon words, and even less someone who might be afraid of them. So use words they'll understand. Compare it to concepts they will understand. Make it as familiar as possible, because the truth is we really aren't that different in a lot of ways. Our differences are largely philosophical, and most people actually find them very familiar because they are very common in the wider world. Most people, in fact, when they find out about Wicca and paganism, say, "Oh, I recognize that." In many cases it's, well, we really don't think very differently at all, do we? And the truth is we really don't in a lot of ways. The ways that we do differ are fairly major, but they have to do with magic and metaphysics. But even then, if you liken this to concepts that more people are familiar with, such as mind over matter, the power of prayer, etc., you'll find it actually is very familiar to them. So, these are the things that I would primarily recommend. But again, you have to know who you're talking to. Some people there just is no good way, and you probably shouldn't come out of the broom closet to them unless you are prepared for that. Other people, like I say, and most people, just really want to understand, and once they do, they will basically be okay with it. And I've had many stories over the years of people who actually found that what they heard sounded really good to them and investigated it themselves and became pagan or Wiccan because a good friend had first introduced them to a coming out of the broom closet. So, the outcomes can range over a wide variation, but these are the ways I'd recommend doing it. So I hope that answers your question and gives you something to think about, and until next time, may you blessed be.